All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your boy E here with all your wrestling factoids. Just to kind of reflect on what we talked about here. We talked about WWE Monday Night Raw review, our WWE NXT preview. We also talked about Liv Morgan going to Hollywood. Is it good for her career? Is it time for her to hang up her boots in terms of wrestling? Maybe, maybe not. Listen to the segment. Uh, and segment four, we talked about today in wrestling history, May 21st. A lot of cool things happening. So, yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our fifth and final. I keep wanting to say fourth because for the longest time we did four segments. So, for the fifth and final segment, I want to talk about our women's wrestling power rankings. So, let's go ahead and jump right on into that. So I'm going to give you guys my power rankings in terms of the women's divisions, and this means Ring of Honor. This means TNA, Raw, SmackDown, all over the wrestling globe. So yeah, let's go ahead and go ahead and start. So first and foremost, at number 10, I have Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka is obviously one of the best, kind of wrestlers that's, coming out of NXT. She got injured, but she recently qualified for the WWE NXT Battleground North American Women's Championship match at NXT Battleground. And I don't know, she just seems really, really good. I can see, the most of this part is like, I can see a title around her waist. I can see her kind of being that total baby face. Or, hey, if WWE wants her to go heel, I would still love Sol Ruka, which shows that she has so much star power. She has the fans behind her back. And there's no doubt in my mind that this girl would definitely be, one of the best wrestlers, female wrestlers in terms of the women's division and, all over the wrestling globe. So, pretty cool. Number 10, I have Sol Ruka. Number 9, I got Bayley. I love Bayley, and I know she is the WWE Women's Champion, but she recently fought a match with Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. Not really too big superstars to kind of fight against in the title match. Like you have the up and coming Tiffany Stratton, and you have the kind of the older like Naomi. So if that was her first title defense, I don't think it's as good as like someone like a Roxanne Perez who's defended her title like probably like 3 or 4 times by now. But I love Bayley. Love the fact that she winded up as a babyface. And by all means, if you're on the list and if you're number 9, you also have to realize you're number 9. You made it to the top 10 out of hundreds of women's wrestlers all over the globe. So, Bayley, if you're watching this, don't take this too personal, man. Don't take this too crazy because, you made it on the list. Absolutely crazy. Good for you. Love Bayley as a babyface. Do not ever, ever turn to a heel again because that would be absolutely terrible. And once again, I got little Fettuccine 68 talking who will turn heel, Jade or Belair. I think Belair. I feel like Belair. Well, recently she's been kind of rumored to like be pregnant, so she might be taking some time away from the WWE. But before that, I would have loved to see Bianca Belair go heel. I've actually did a couple podcasts about that. I think it was like a couple weeks ago. Um, Honestly, just let me know who would you think would be better, Cargill or Belair going heel. I like Jade coming out of AEW. Um, but it'd be kind of cool. Kind of have that mantra, kind of that persona, like that. Although people know that Jade is from AEW, the moment she makes it to the WWE roster, she does everything she can to kind of sabotage the women's division. And everybody in the back of their minds, they're like, "Oh yeah, Jade was totally AEW. She's totally taking it to these dumb WWE stars." Like that would be cool in that aspect. But ultimately, I don't know. I would say Belair would probably be a better heel because people, exactly. Honestly, that's 1,010% correct. Belair needs to be repackaged. Absolutely, that probably sums up everything because, like, she was a former WWE Women's Champion, lost it to Io Sky with her Money in the Bank cash in, and she just needs another purpose. She needs another purpose. I feel like her with that frustrations, and then you saw her frustrations with Bayley and Naomi kind of moving forward, and it was just I don't know, it was just kind of you can kind of sense the tension, like kind of what I mentioned when you saw that promo on Friday Night SmackDown, where you saw Jade Cargill and Belair kind of come to each other and be like, "Yeah, we're tag team partners. Yes, we are the women's world tag team champions. But ultimately, if this ever happens between us and Queen of the Ring, I'm gonna take you down, girl." And like that subconscious, that intensity, would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty awesome to see what they do with that. And the pay-per-view thoughts moving from Sunday, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be probably one of the best Jeddah, Saudi Arabia pay-per-views that we've had. I would say in ever. I would say honestly in ever, because without Vince McMahon, because we've had some pretty bad ones in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and Riyadh. Like, it just, this needs to be good. This needs to be good because so much people, I know me as a wrestling fan, I see these pay-per-views come into Saudi Arabia, and part of me is like, you know what? Any matches that kind of happen at Crown Jewel are kind of like, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but kind of like BS matches. Like, it's not really going to matter toward their storyline. There's not going to be any title changes, and if there is, it's going to be the United States Championship or like one of the tag team championships. So I feel like this pay per view, in order to kind of establish kind of like a credibility for Saudi Arabia, I feel like this needs to be good. So definitely looking forward to that. So yeah, let's go to move on to our number eight. Number eight, I have Lash Legend. I love Lash Legend, definitely in the power rankings for the WWE Women's Division. Um, she recently been kind of, she's been kind of, flirting with Trick Williams and kind of showing metaphor that, like, hey, it's not Trick that's going to do this at all. And then I love that with her. And then I love the fact that she was a WNBA star and she made it to the to the SmackDown, or, made it to WWE in general. Like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty badass. Love that. You can kind of see it in her matches that this girl has so much potential. I can see, she qualified for the ladder match at NXT Battleground for the inaugural WWE NXT Women's North American Championship. Definitely think it's going to be hard to kind of knock her off. She has a bright future ahead of her. Absolutely 110%. Can't wait to see what she does next. All right, number seven, we have Lyra Valkyrie. Lyra Valkyrie, although she did lose her championship to Roxanne Perez at Spring Break-In, she's been absolutely impressive as hell. She's in the finals with the Queen of the Ring representing Monday Night Raw. Like, who does that? Like, that's crazy. This girl is her, man. This girl's gonna absolutely kick ass. Love the fact that she's doing this, strictly from winning the WWE draft, coming to Monday Night Raw, showing the world that she's no one to be kind of put to the side. So absolutely love Laura Valkyrie in this position. All right, number six, I have Roxanne Perez. Love Roxanne Perez. Like I said before, out of all the WWE Women's Champions or whatever, I feel like she's kind of been the one to defend her title more, kind of be stuck in these storylines or predicaments or bookings that where she kind of has to take care of the match, kind of has to take care of the promo, kind of has to sell herself as a total heel. So obviously a lot of responsibility on that. A lot of people think that being the jerk is such an easy thing. Dude, hey, yeah, man, go out there, be a giant jerk off. It's not that easy. It's not that easy to sell the fans. It's not that easy to fool the WWE universe. I know for my end, I sometimes I see heels like I saw in Bailey, and I kept watching. I was like, awful. Absolutely awful. Bailey was one of the worst heels in WWE history. Better as a babyface. Love this kind of see her back as a total babyface. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, next we have our number five. Number five, we're gonna talk about Toni Storm. Love Toni Storm, the way she's been, kind of in the AEW. Um, this girl can't lose. She cuts amazing promos. Definitely something Liv Morgan should probably pay attention to. Not trying to be a jerk, but Toni Storm, she came from WWE. Definitely one of the, the wrestlers or the superstars that WWE probably wish they would have, signed before she ultimately kind of had to leave. But I love Toni Storm. Definitely wish the best for her. She's kind of heading toward Double or Nothing. She's against, man, Renee something. I can't put my nail on the head. If you guys know, who she's fighting in Double or Nothing, put it in the chat. Let me know. But Toni Storm, she's good. She's good. She cuts good promos. She has good matchups, and yeah, looking forward to see her at Double or Nothing on Sunday. So it should be pretty awesome. Next, we have Becky Lynch at number four. Becky Lynch at number four. Becky Lynch, where whenever she gets into a match or a storyline or another superstar, even if another superstar is trying to cut a good promo, ultimately the responsibility is on the person cutting the promo. But Becky Lynch finds a way to validate that, even if it's a shitty promo, she's able to kind of, make it up, kind of be like, okay, yeah, this is intense. Like, you're telling me this, you're telling me that. Like, she kind of swings it along, and then the heel like that's like, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Becky Lynch has definitely been carrying the women's division for the longest time. Definitely deserves that spot at number 4. What's going to put her at number 1? But there's just so many amazing wrestlers in the women's division. At number 3, I'll have Willow of Nightingale. Willow of Nightingale, she's the AEW TBS champion, going to fight Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing. But this girl's just a star. She's a total star. She's like a dynamo in terms of like just professional wrestling. This girl's been all over the wrestling circuit. She deserves respect. She's a great role model. She recently visited a wrestling high school just to kind of tell, like, I think just to kind of be like, hey, like your wrestling dreams could come true too. So I love Willow of Nightingale. Definitely think she's the best baby face that AEW has to offer. If Mercedes Moné loses, no, if Mercedes Moné wins against Willow at AEW Double or Nothing, I will organize a giant riot and we will tear down Tony Khan's house. We will tear down AEW. We will tear down Turner Broadcasting. I tell you, and I'm just kidding. But ultimately, love Willow Nightingale. Out of every wrestler in the women's division, all over the professional wrestling industry, she's definitely busted her ass to get to the position where she's at right now. So absolute respect. Love that. We're running out of time rapidly. So number 2, we have Athena. Athena, the longest reigning Ring of Honor a women's heavyweight champion. Loved her in WWF, WWE, but they had to screw up and mess up her bookings to the point where she was great. She was great in NXT, made it onto the Raw, main card. They didn't really do crap with her. They didn't, really live up to the hype and didn't like help her reach her potential that she could possibly do. So honestly, for her failing in the WWE has absolutely reflects on her absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. It's all about WWE and the creative that was run during the Vince McMahon era. So, way to mess that up. You lost another good superstar. And number one of the women's division, women's wrestling power rankings. Number 1, we have TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace continues to be just oh so impressive. No one can take her down. No one could cut good promos like her. She in her matches, she's absolutely dominant. And look at her physique. Like she's absolute. Oh man, like she's amazing. She's definitely one of the best women's wrestlers in. I don't know. I kind of really liked her coming to the WWE in the Royal Rumble. Definitely wish I kind of thought if she would have won the Royal Rumble, it would have been absolutely like mind blowing. Would have been pretty awesome. But obviously that didn't happen. But it was cool to see her in the WWE. In the future, for her career, I wouldn't mind to see her go into the WWE at all. Totally go in there and kick ass would be awesome. A nice feud with her and Nia Jax would be, oh man, that bust out your popcorn, bust out your sodas, bring your milk duds, Sour Patch Kids, and Red Vines to this amazing theatrical match between the irresistible force and the strongest there is, Jordynne Grace. So that'd be pretty badass. Jordynne Grace is definitely the best women's wrestler on the face of this planet as of today. So yeah, that was my power ranking, my women's wrestling power rankings. Hope you guys like it. And before I end it off real quick, want to acknowledge my boy Little Fettuccine 68. Is Jacob Fatu going to be at the pay-per-view? Maybe. But there's been a lot of speculations that they do not want Jacob to debut because they have not really kind of created Solo Sokoa and kind of have not like built him up to kind of be this tribal chief persona. He's not ready. He's not ready yet. So they fear that if Jacob comes in, it would absolutely destroy kind of the upbringing, kind of like WWE, building blocks, trying to get Solo Sokoa to be like, oh, Solo Sokoa is this badass guy. He's the tribal chief. He'll mess up anybody, man. So it would be, kind of crazy to see Jacob Fatu, make his debut. But ultimately, and hey, man, peace. Thank you so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. We're live every day, Monday through Friday. Definitely 110%. Absolutely loved it. Thank you for making this, wrestling show a lot more interactive. Definitely for making one of the best shows I've ever hosted. So thank you so much. Respect. Yeah, let's go ahead and yeah, I hope you guys liked my show. And oh, you're gonna hit me. Oh, what's your favorite Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie? Ooh, you know what? I think that's the same question I asked my boy Nelson from the GSMC basketball podcast. My favorite Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie. Uh, Probably, I think Nelson brought this up. I think Moana. Moana, because I'm a Disney dad. I'm a Disney dork. What could I say except you're welcome? And I think he did really good in that role. Absolutely 110%. Sure, his face wasn't on there, but I feel like, my favorite Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie is, Moana. And totally kind of, pulling a 180. I would definitely probably see him Faster. I don't know if you watched Faster, where he was this complete badass, where his brother and his gang was like a bank, band of bank robbers, eventually caught up by another group that wanted to steal their money. And it was just, total badass, absolutely love it. And thank you once again, Little Fettuccine, for, 68 for being my boy tonight. Yeah, make sure you tune in to tomorrow's show. It made the show a hell of a lot better with you in it. So, guys, like I said, thank you so much for tuning into my show. The GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us. So please remember to, Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show and just leave a positive review. Leave a positive review here at the GSMC Sports Network. We love peace, love, and positivity all the way 100%. And it really does make a difference, guys. And honestly, really 100% does. We also invite you guys to follow us on Facebook, Twitter/X, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. And once again, if I haven't made you a wrestling fan by now, we have the NBA playoffs absolutely heating up. A lot of good analysis going into these games. What to expect from the Indiana Pacers, the Boston Celtics, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Dallas Mavericks. I can't believe I forgot the Dallas Mavericks because they're so forgettable. I'm just kidding. No. My boy Nelson on the GSMC Basketball Podcast has all your cool stuff, has all the good stuff heading into the matchups, so you can watch it. So you can watch it with like a mindful of experience and be like, oh shit, like that's crazy. We also have my boy Kenneth on football, talking football all the time. We all know the NFL in terms of headlines and breaking news. It's totally king. Can't beat out the NFL. We also have Hoops and Heels, your one-stop shop for women's wrestling, for women's sports. We also have the Andrew Tate Show. Definitely good things. We have just sports. TJ, Jeremy, sports. So it's good. It's good. So make sure you listen to the GSMC Sports Network, and it's absolutely free. You don't have to pay for absolutely anything. It's absolutely free. We love podcasting. We love talking about sports. It's a passion of ours. And we want to bring you guys into this family. It's the bloodline of the GSMC Sports Network. So, guys, honestly, once again, thank you for tuning into the show and have a phenomenal night.